New Vema Town. Try that for a town that I haven't visited yet. Never thought of coming back to the first town for a place. There's the fat guy who talks about the power of science again. Because, you know, fat people apparently really love science, as we've learned from Pokemon throughout the past. So, Legend of Korra, which, you know, the sequel to Avatar and whatnot, came out in the America on the television like yesterday, so everyone's talking about that a lot. And, you know, I kind of saw it when it came out late March when they had that release online, and you know, but I can't even watch it on TV since you know I don't have Nick because I'm Canadian and whatnot. But you know, big fan of it so far. I really like the series. It looks like they're doing it really well. They have a lot to live up to because Avatar is kind of amazing. So they're doing a good job so far. But it's only been 2 episodes in, so it's hard to tell. But so far, I'm loving it a lot. So anyway, we got a UU battle here against Inconspicuous from Smogan. It was a decent match, kind of on the shorter side, but it's still a good match nonetheless. So decided to Crobat, predicting his probable lead in a Rhydon since I could just taunt him to stop preventing him setting up the Stealth Rock, so that is what I do. Just gonna do that, go for the taunt, figuring he's probably gonna Stealth Rock, so I was kind of scared of the Stone Edge, but I'm like, might as well just taunt him just to be safe, and ends up going for the Stealth Rock, so that was pretty awesome for me. Gonna U-turn now in case he may want to switch since it's Data, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to go for the Stone Edge or the Rock Blast. He ends up having the Rock Blast, and just like my terrible luck, of course he's going to hit 5 times and get a critical hit on one of them right there. So that's just kind of ridiculous. So it still does nothing. Well, it does a third, but still, that's still a little bit for hitting 5 times and getting a crit off one of them. So just gonna go for my rocks now, knowing he can't really do much to me, thinking he can't do much to me, but he actually has the Mega Horn, which I didn't really know. I don't really know anything about Rhyhorns in UU, so I had no clue that they carried I didn't know the defensive ones carried Mega Horn. I don't know, whatever. So guess it makes sense because you know I still able to live in. And his taunt wears off here, so I decided to sustain and go for the Earth Power, thinking he may want to set up his rocks again. So ends up just going for the Mega Horn to take me out. So Claydol dies pretty early, but it wasn't really been that useful anyways because stuff. So I'm gonna go into my app now, and I move my camera there, which like never happens anymore. Man, I'm such an amateur now. Gonna predict a switch since I know he's scared throwing the water move, and it's gonna go for the agility. Ends up going into Rose Raid, which is awesome since I'm pretty sure a Life Orb Ice will take it out, and I'm just gonna go for it, hoping it will kill. And I don't have much to fear from it. I do see the Black Sludge. I'm thinking it's like the offensive Toxic Spiking set since I do one shot it, which is kind of nice. So it's gonna die, which is really awesome. So looking really good here. Ends up going into his Cobalion, which is kind of weird. I'm pretty sure Surf can't one-shot it, even though Cobalion's defenses aren't that great, and I didn't want to risk it. So I decided, you know, I'm just going to go into Victini to take the fighting move. Ends up predicting my switches very nicely and goes for the sub there. So I could have just easily gone for the Surf, and then he would have been so low he couldn't have subbed there. And Empoleon probably would have swept him from there. So that was really, really risky. So just gonna go for the Brick Break. I'm Scarf, so I am still faster. Ends up going for the SD, I guess, thinking I don't have much to hit him with, but I'm a Fire type, so of course I do. He should probably just went for the damaging move, but he's going to switch out here, and I'm going to switch out too because I'm kind of thinking he's not going to want to set up a sub again. I can go into P2 to kind of wall him, kind of predicting the Stone Edge there. He ends up switching himself during the Brick Break, even though it probably wouldn't have killed him, and he's going to go into a Zapdos, so we both end up switching out. Not the best switch for him since Zapdos really can't do much to me unless it's a Toxicking Zapdos of some sort. I'm just going to go for the Toxic myself since I do see the lefty, so I'm thinking it's more of a defensive spread, kind of hoping it doesn't have the substitute. Ends up going straight back into his Cobalion, which is like, okay, fine, this thing isn't that big of a threat to P2 anyways. I switched it in for a reason, even though you have the fighting move, it isn't going to do that much, really. Ends up setting up a Swords Dance. I am just going to go for the Thunderbolt, knowing it'll probably be a 2KO at this range. Maybe, because that's really close. I'm not invested in special attack at all, and this isn't the offensive P2, and it isn't, unfortunately. Luckily for me, I do get the Parahax, which matters, yes, but okay, if I hadn't gotten the Parahax, not that Thunderbolt, this next Thunderbolt would have done more because he would have close combated first, and then I would have gotten more damage off. But even more importantly than that, he kind of just makes up for anyways because he crits me on this close combat. And yeah, I could have lived that if there was no crit, so that does really suck for me. So they kind of cancel each other out in a sense, but I guess not really because he's still paralyzed. Now he's kind of easily revengeable, but either way, I still have Scarf Victini. I could have just killed him off with Scarf Victini anyway, so it really didn't matter that much. So I'm gonna go into Rose Raid instead because he's slower. I know he's slower, and I can just go for the HP 5 and take him out. So that's what I do, and that thing is gonna die now. So that's cool. He ends up now just going back into his Zapdos. No, I can take a Heat Wave, but aside, you know what? Just to be a little bit safer, I'm just going to go into my Victini anyways, since I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to predict it and go for the electric move. So I'm going to go into Victini. He ends up going straight for the Heat Wave just like I thought he would, and it does little because I resisted and whatnot. Gonna predict him to switch out here because I don't really think he's gonna want to stay in and take a possible V-Create, and he still has that Rhydon, which he knows can take it still pretty well. So I'm gonna go for the U-turn predicting his switch, and he ends up going into the Rhydon, which is what I thought he would do. So U-turn hits the Rhydon, and I believe I'm gonna go into Rose Raid. I want to say Rose Raid. Rose Raid? No, Empoleon. Right. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. I'm just going to go for the safe surf, predicting him to predict me to want to switch, and I know he's not going to want to give my Empoleon a free agility, because that would literally mean good game for him, so I'm going to just go for the surf to take him out. He's now going to go into a Zapdos. I know I can live. I'm thinking I can live a Thunderbolt at this range, so I'm still thinking it's defensive, and I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam to try to take it out. He ends up going for the Heat Wave, predicting me to switch there. I guess predicting my Rose Raid switch, so he ends up kind of mispredicting there. Looking at much Heat Wave did, Thunderbolt probably would have killed me at that range, so it looks like he's an offensive Zapdos with leftovers, so whatever, I end up killing off because of a mixed prediction, which is nice. He ends up going into a Feraligatr, which is like, what are you doing in UU? Go away, go away. You shouldn't be in UU. Go away, Feraligatr. Waterfall takes me out. Whatever. Okay, fine. I didn't think it would kill, but it actually does. Going to Rose right now since I know I'm faster. I'm not going to just play around. No, I know I have this game in the bag as long as I play it right, so I'm just going to go for the Leaf Storm. I'm just going to take out the Feraligatr really easily. And his last, I believe, is the Unseen Togekiss, I believe, right here. That's going to be going in a few seconds. Yes, Togekiss. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for the Sludge Bomb here since I really just kind of want to free switch into Victini just to win the game safely. Don't want any shenanigans going around. I probably should have just went for the Sleep Powder, but I already knew I had the game won. There's no point of being fancy about it. The damage would have just been more useful anyway, just to make sure that I can take him out with my Victini. So Sludge Bomb does little because of the -2 that I had, and now I'm just going to go into Victini, just going to win the game with a quick V-Create or Fusion Bolt. I think, V-Create, okay, fine. I should have Fusion Bolt. The Fusion Bolt is way more stylish than V-Creating is. Anyways, V-Create's going to easily take out the Togekiss, and that is going to be a decent, good UU battle, so that's going to be it for today, and I shall see you next time for another battle. And I need better outros. I just suck at outros. That's just how I do. I don't know how to say goodbye because I love doing this, and I just don't like stopping to do it. Anyways, that's going to be it.